Hello, good evening. Another Sunday night is with us. Now, let's just see. Tonight I am going to be playing with the Simply Fabulous stamp set. I've just put the reminder up. It's a really good, affordable set from the annual catalogue. So we've been doing a bit of mini and a bit of celebration, but tonight's going to be all about the annual one. So let's just move you across and then we can shoot on. So I love stamps like this. I've only just got this one and I know it's near the end of the annual catalogue, but the affordability side, I've got the graphic up here actually. Let me just take that down and just share that with you. This is the actual stamp set, so you can see it up live and you can see that the price on there is £17 for all of those stamps. Now I just want to show you, I've got some colours out here I'm going to go through with the catalogue to show you as to what's going to be best for if you're thinking about buying something like that. You don't need any dies with this. There are no dies. Hi Cal. There are no dies. It is just purely about the stamp set and all the different pieces. So I have my whole box of blocks here because we'll need more blocks. But let's just turn that around a little bit so I can access them because I need lots of little ones. So I'll just get a few of those out ready. Some long ones for the greetings maybe. And I don't have to keep putting my arm in front of the camera. Okay, I've got a few of those out. So there's two ways of looking at these. I'm going to get a note card out just to show you that way first. Oh, am I? Yes. A note card here from my pack so you can see that size. Okay, there. But also I want to show you on a full-size card how you can actually fit this onto a full size. Okay, it might sound a bit confusing, but what I'm going to do is cut a piece of Whisper Basic White. Sorry, we all have that faux pas. Excuse me. I did have a really sore throat last night. No cold, no nothing, just a really sore throat. So it's not, yeah, lots of honey and lemon today. I'm just going to quickly cut this to the size of the front of a note card, which is 3.5 by 5 inches. Now you know I'm not really an inches girl, but that's where I'm heading off to with that one. So if it was a plain size card, it would be that. If it was straight onto the note card, there is our note card. So there's two different choices there. I have brought on some papers just because I wanted to show you how they can coordinate with these. Now I'm hoping that this is the one that's got a little bit of shaded spruce in it. Let me just see. Have we got shaded in there? We haven't, have we? This isn't the one I'm thinking of. Granny apple green, that'll do. Anything with granny apple in it. So we want to find something out of here. These are the celebration ones here. They're free with a £90 spend, which might seem a little bit high, but this is a 48 sheet pack. So let me just, oh, those ones would go really nice with the colours I want to do. Hi Julie, hi Linda, hi Cal. I said Shaz is on there. I can't see Shaz, but she's someone's tagged her, which is nice. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's going to be my best one. There is a stripe in there actually. We might feel we're better off with a stripe, so I'm going to leave those out. I think I have shown you those ones before, but that's just to show you how we can change a note card into a full size. Okie doke. So let's just get those out of the way for now. Yeah. Where should we go first? What I wanted to just show you before I started was the stamp set in here. I've just shown you the graphic on the screen, but this is £17. You're going to see how just one simple stamp set will churn out loads of different cards. Okay, so I wanted to show you this one on page 129. You have the classic spot assortment here. So there are 8. It's a really nice way, good way of getting ink pads at an affordable price with just the little tiny spots that you get, like the other ones you get in the kits. Okay, so we've got 8 spots there, are 23 for all 8 colours. If you were buying the full size ones, they would be Let's just turn the pages back. I've got a feeling they are £7.50 for the full size pads. So if you had 8 times £7.50, be considerably more than £23. So it's a good way of getting those colours into your hands at an affordable price. So those two together comes to £40. Now I wanted to just show you that if you added on the note cards and envelopes, I've lost my marker. That was in there. Just find them there. Note cards and envelopes down here on page 137 are £6.75 for a pack of 20. Really nice, they're pre-scored, envelopes there, all ready to go. Oh, sorry, just off the bottom of the screen here, it's down this one here. Really good, affordable way. And if you bought those 3 together, you would get a free celebration. We love free. So we'll take those ones away at the moment, but I have got Granny Apple in here. So I'm going to lean across and just grab a piece of scrap paper to lean on without tipping everything out of the way, because I'm going to be going off the edges of the card. So let's start with the plain panel first rather than the note card, just to show you how I want this to work. Okay, now for masking off this piece on here, I like to use long post-it notes. Now I haven't got any long ones at the moment, sadly, that reach the whole length. We do have masking tape, or what you can do is to fold over the edge of your piece of paper here, and put it to the length that you are, the height down that you want it to be. So I'm going to show you like a little cheats way of doing this. So if I do that there, okay, and that has got my my mask, if you like, all from a piece of copy paper. So if you just put a little bit there, a little bit there, you're just going to be able to leave that in the centre and stick that down. So there's one mask. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I need to get this camera a little bit better because it's there you go. I might need to move you out a little bit. Come back slightly, there we go. And then with this other piece, we can also make another mask, keeping these edges straight. So we want to work out which greeting we're going to use on here first. So we've got lots of nice greetings. I like to just saying hello, big, bold and lovely. So I'm going to take that stamp out. Oh look, some more note cards in there. These haven't been mounted into their box properly yet, so I'll just take that off. So no, it only came in the last order that I picked up. Now you can have that in the centre. Those out of the way so you can see. You can have it in centre or to the right. I like to have it to the right of a border. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape that runner there, and then fold this up to where I want it to be. So just leaving it enough space, and then you can put a little piece under here. So we always have copy paper to hand. So there is my piece ready to go. Okay. Now, of course, it's a solid image. So the best way to stamp a solid image is, I had 2 here, and now I only have 1. Stamparatus, it's behind the, oh, I'm going to have a landslide in a minute. So Stamparatus is the best way to line up. I'll just take that one off and stick that back up there. So this whole piece, as I've lined it up, can all go in exactly as it is. Okay, so we've got that all secure in there, and we know it's not going to raise up. Can you see that? Yeah, that's a good sight. So that's going to be in the middle. Now, I wanted to show you those 8 colours, excuse me, in the full size pads. So these are all the ones that you could get on those, in those little mini spots. They're about so big. So we have Basic Grey, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Real Red and Shaded Spruce. Like I say, they are small, slightly smaller than this. They're square, so they will be about that size, okay? And they are like the ones that you get in the kits. So that will give you an idea. So those 8 colours are currently available in a pack. Now, many of the demos we're talking about, we are expecting a colour refresh this year. So Stampin' Up! Will juggle the colours round, and they tend to do it, they did it 5 years ago last time. So we're due for one, and we do know that 2 colours that are going to be returning. So we know that they're coming back, so we're expecting this colour refresh, which they might shuffle things up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to line this up on here, and I want it between my two pieces of paper. I hope you can see that on there. You can see where the card is and where the paper is folded over. Okay, so I'm going to just pick that up, making sure it's straight. Okay, this is great for doing multiples. So if you were going to do multiple cards, it would be really good way of doing. Now I just want to grab my stamp scrub. Simply Chamois. The reason is this stamp set hasn't been used yet, so I am going to clean this. Okay, I just want to take that excess off and just give it a chance. Okay, it will just air dry. It's not a wet. This Simply Chamois is just water based, and it's well dried, so that's good. So next thing is to decide which colour I want to do on this one, particular one. I think the sentiment I would like to put in black, so I'm going to actually stamp this in black. Put the Stamparatus Simply Chamois case underneath. Hi Anne and Sandra, nice to see you. Yeah, when these stamps, especially the photopolymer, when they are brand new, they are very sticky. So I like to have a spatula under here. The other one, the other side is a little bit better. Let me just take the camera off a sec. I'll see if I can reach around without going in front of you. Oops, a daisy. There we go. This is a letter opener, a very ancient letter opener at that. So I can see that that's not going to take first time. So I'm going to press on there and get that onto my card. If I hold this down here, it's keeping that piece of paper down so it doesn't come up with the actual stamp, attached to the stamp. Okay, just keep that good covering on there. I'm sure you've heard me several times. This is why I cut my Simply Chamois into quarters. I don't like it whole. Okay, and there's my second coat. Okay, and the third coat will do that nicely. Okay, this is because it's a brand new set, not inked it up at all. Okay, I dropped the ink pad, so we'll take that off there and do a third one. And there we are, we're good. Okay, so that's the first one. Pop that in the tray and that one out of the way. So that's our blackened piece on there. So this is finished with. I'll clean that and just pop that away. I'm not going to use this one anymore. No, I'll leave it. I might have time to do a second one. Depends how much I waffle. Okay, I'll take that all away. Put that over there. And that away for now. Now, the other way round, I wanted to put a piece of paper through the middle of this. So I'm going to use this again because it's repositionable tape. So if I wanted to, I could do that again. That's just kept the rest of this clean. Okay, and now I want to get a piece of sticky over the top of this. Now, I can't do this in back to front. That was just keeping the rest of that clean, so I didn't get any black on it. I now want to obliterate this. So what I'm going to just do is get the masking tape, Stampin' Up! Do a masking medium. Really, really handy. Okay, so in this box here, I keep my mask and my masking paper. And just take a piece of this out. It's not something I use loads, but this will do in the absence of my Post-it notes. So I'm going to cut a strip of this. It is just big enough to cover. So it's actually called Stampin' Up! Masking paper, and you get 12 sheets of that size in there. So I'm going to cut a piece of this. Oh, I've got 2 sheets there. Just want it to go across there, and if we just measure roughly how wide I want that to be. So the size of that sentiment. I'm going to pop this in the trimmer. I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to measure the depth from the cutting track to the width I would like that to be. So I think if I did that to 3.5 centimetres in there, I think that would look good. So I'm going to cut this and 3.5 centimetres, as long as it's straight, up and down, and then we have our mask. So we'll come back on here. I'm going to put the back of this piece that I've been using, and I'm going to put this through the middle. Now the masking tape actually has a split on the back, so it will release one piece first, then the other piece, so you can always get the backing off. Okay, so because this is very, very sticky, it is masking, it's designed to come off easily. I like to do another double run by sticking it onto my t-shirt and then pulling it off a couple of times. That will just take some of that tack away. Now I want to place this on here level, so I'm going to do it on my grid paper. I think you can all see me there. And I'm going to put this on there straight and then line this up on lines either side. You can see through, so you will be able to see where that's going to be. Just move that slightly, so I want that to be up a bit. So I'm going to go with my lines on the bottom here, okay, and pop that on there. That's a little bit high. I'm going to pull that one off. Oh, I'm going to tear that off. Oh, it's going to stick on me. You can see why I put it onto my t-shirt first. Okay, it has just lifted that slightly. We can stick that one down, that's fine. So this is very sticky. This is stickier than a post-it note. So I'm going to put some more on my t-shirt first. It just takes off. Don't use it on a woolly jumper. Woolly jumpers don't go well. Trust me, I've tried that as well. You just don't want to do it. So if I try and line this up a little bit higher than that. Okay, and there we have our image covered. Okay, so that's where I want it to be. Now I'll stick up my paper so I know it's going to be straight. So now we get stamping. So I'm going to pull some of these stamps off from the case here. I haven't mounted these into the box, so I'll just quickly do those with some of them that I'm going to use. It's a lot easier than doing it from here and can't see through. So Stampin' Up, I love the way that they do this now. They stamp on the inside of your case, the paper, the liner that's in there, with the details on. They print on those, so all of these just come off. Now all I do is remove the flimsy copy, the flimsy backing that keeps these clean. This is quite stiff. Now I used to use this for acetate windows. It's a free piece of acetate. But I've stopped doing that now, and I'm using this to keep them in place, and I'll show you when I finish. Just pop these down. There we go. In there. I think I've got someone trying to knock the door down. A little four-legged friend. I can hear, there's no sounds, but I can hear some scratching at the door. Okay. And that one. Okay, so this is the stiffer piece of plastic that comes in the box, and I would now lay that over those stamps, and that will keep them in the box. Picked one up there in the middle. If you don't put this on, I have found that if I just leave them like so, when they have been used a few times, they start getting less tacky. You can wash them under a tap, just under clear water, and let them air dry, and they will regain their tackiness. Okay, but if they do fall off, they might slide around in the box, and when you open your box, they could fall out and you could lose one. So I like to just keep that over the top now, and they are always ready to go and they won't fall out. Okay, but for now, I just want to show you that, but I'm going to get these onto the other side. Okay, so I'm going to start with some of my biggest images. So I'm going to put some of the leaves on there, I think, first. So I will use that one. Oops. That little one's, I think he's on a little bulb in there, a little raised piece. And let's stick him there. Okay, I'm going to have that one. I'm going to have this little one. I want some different textures. Okay, and a lot of these might be in use. So I'm going to use those two first. And I wanted one more greenery. This one here is a little bit filigree. It's got a little bit leafy. So pop that away. And I'm going to use those two colours. I'm going to use the greens. Okay, so I'm going to use either one of these. I might use this. No, for this card I'm going to use the Shades of Spruce. And I'm going to do some first and second generation. Okay, so I'm going to put some of the solid ones on here first. I want that to cover over the edges, so it's only going to come either side of this. Okay, so do a couple of contrast pieces. Okay, like so. And then we'll have some longer ones. Just little branches coming out. You don't want heavy necessarily. And coming down like so. I haven't done one of these for a long while, but I used to do quite a few of them. Once you've got everything dirty, your stamps are all inked up. It's a good one just to run several out. Okay, and lastly I'll do a few of these. Just coming down from the edge. Go down this one. Let's come in there. And then another little one at the top there. If you want to get a variety of colour, you can actually get your first and second generation, but I want these to stay solid for now. And then I'm going to come back in with some of the colours and some of the flowers. So we're running out of blocks here, so I'm just going to leave them lined up on the table here. Can't believe I've got so many different colours, different blocks. I've actually got 3 sets of these, and it just seems a bit strange that I was running out of all of them at the same time. The colours I'd like to use tonight are the Gorgeous Grape and the Flirty Flamingo. Okay, so our flowers would be these ones here. In fact, if I use one for sentiments, I can use one on that side and a different one on the other. Different texture on that side. So I've used a long block, and I've got one on this side to stamp and then one on this side to stamp. So the colours won't contaminate each other. Good covering, and remember these are the first time these have been inked. So I'm just going to hold it down a little while. Okay. There may be one in this corner. You can stamp over the other images. Okay, like so. And then I'm going to turn it over and use the other flower and do the flirty. If you want to pre-test these, you've got your paper underneath that you can just test them on to see what they're going to look like. Okay. Do this one in that corner. Flirty is quite a nice colour. I like flirty. One up there. Pretty colours, yes, they're nice colour combination. They're what they call the basics. So they are basic colours. Just thinking now what else to do. Which colours and which little pieces in here. We've got 2 different types of flowers there. We've got on the front there some little hearts, some little leaves I can fill in. I'm going to use the other flower, this one here, this one. I want more of the purple. Gorgeous Grape. Okay, so if it is the first time you're using the stamp, you can just snap some of those off there. Stop that one from rattling. So we can have another little bit of purple in that corner. A little bit there. And I love this little dottage on here. Nothing there for now. And what else have we got? Some little bits there. That little one that keeps falling off is bound to want to come out. So I'm going to fill in some gaps with him in a sec. I'm going to put some little Gorgeous Grape ones in the middle of this greenery. Okay, and one down here. Just change the angle according to what you want. We need a little bit more of this one. So we have another little flower here. It is using a lot of blocks, but if you've got them all together, you can still put them back in here, in between. There we go. Make your own patterns up basically with this. Okay, just play with it. Experiment with colours, experiment with textures. There we go. We want a little bit more greenery in here. So I think we will go back to the filigree one. This is where I have to be careful when I'm just popping them onto the table that I don't lose them. Okay. So you can see I've just picked up 3 colours for this one. This is my just first experiment one. Not done one like this for a little while. I don't want all of this showing. Just make sure it's not longer than your stem is here. Just want to have a little tiny bit of detail. Okay, a little bit of that on there. Not sure what else I want to put on there. The centre of the flowers, we can do the centres here. There's a little dot on this one, just in there. Little tiny dot, just to fill in these circles. So we might like to bring another colour in for those. This is the one you're going to lose, if any. Tiny little circle. So I'm going to use the daffodil because I think the daffodil for centres of flowers looks really sweet. Okay, just put that in the middle of those purple ones like so. Fill in the gaps. That one missed there, I think. So I think we've got the basis of a nice little border there. You can fill it out as thick or as thin as you like. Just going to do these up so they don't dry out. We have had the wood burner on today. Oh, that's a bit stiff. That's very stiff. I'll sort that one later. There we go. So I'm going to use those, leave those to one side. I'm just going to just gently peel this off. You can see what happened before with May. It just started to peel off in one corner. That's why I stick it on my t-shirt beforehand. Now I'm going to just take this one straight off so you can see a faux border. Okay, this is going to peel. It is going to work. But just got to peel it off very, very carefully to make sure that you don't leave any of the paper behind. I've got a little piece in here. Just going to lift that off. So it all comes together. I am leaving a little bit behind. We'll get the middle piece last. I'm not ripping the card, I'm actually ripping off the paper, leaving the paper behind here. Just peeling those down. You see me gradually bringing that down. Okay, and it's coming all the way down to the bottom. I think this middle part was where there was a seam on the actual paper. Maybe it's been a little bit weaker. Just coaxing that off there. There we go, and that's that piece off. And then we'll carry on down. Carry to the bottom. I'll get the last little piece in a minute. Okay, just gently tear that off. Don't pull it out. A bit like a plaster, don't pull it off really, really quickly because it's less painful. You've got to do it in little bits. And then this will come off. I'll just get the spatula under there and pull that piece off. There we go. And then that just refills that. This is where I pulled it off earlier and it was still a bit too tacky. Just pop a little bit of Tombow behind there. Okay, we'll just wipe that with a piece of kitchen towel. Just spread that out and stick it down. It's wafer thin. There we go, I'll just get that off there. So just one little bit, and that's good to show you that because then you can see how dainty it is. And just to make sure you do put that on your just on the corner of your t-shirt and peel it off, put it back. It's like sellotape, but sellotape's even more tackier. Do not use this with sellotape. Either post-its or masking tape. and it will do the job well. So then we've got a little faux border on there. So now, if I was doing this on a full card, so on a note card, you could do this straight onto the note card, and there is your finished card, okay, which looks really nice on that size. If it was a, let's get those out of camera sight. If it was onto, you want to put this onto a bigger card, we can now just quickly show you how we can make that same size into a full-size card by putting a matte layer behind it. I feel my voice is getting a little bit croaky here. So this is, remember the sizes at the start, this is a 3.5 by 5. So like I did the other night, I'm going to actually just see if that is 3. Yes, I can do it this way. So 3.5, I want to go 3 3/4. Okay, just add a 1/4 of an inch on. You don't often see me in inches. And this was, no, yes, 3. And this was 5, so I'm going to go 5 1/4. I'm going bigger because I'm going to put it onto a full-size card. Okay, so they're my sizes, and that should leave us just a nice little border all the way around the outside. And it brings in the green that we've used, the shaded spruce that we've used. Now I'm going to get a white base for that one. Just grab my white card I had here earlier. Staring at me somewhere. I'll take a full sheet of white and I'll cut it in half. If I score it, yeah, I'll cut it in half first this time. So on the 14.85 by 10.5 and score it 10.5 in here, like so. And then fold that on the line. Bone folder there. And then these panels are going to come on the front there. So just lay those on for size and check that you're happy with the size. Okay. Bear in mind the note cards are the imperial size, so they are slightly different, but the borders should be the same. So I'm going to stick those together. Are you keeping up with me? Nice simple one again tonight. It's a different technique I haven't done on lives for you. So it's just showing you how to mask an area off, and it's like a faux border. The other way you can do is to stamp the whole things as one big border. That's one cat in the door. Hello. Oops, upside down. We don't want upside down, do we? Okay. Oh, yes. This is one you don't often see. This is Tiggs. He's saying hello. You hear that? No, don't worry, Helen. I'm just doing like a faux border. So this is just, it looks like it's a piece of card over the top, but it's actually perfectly smooth. Okay. Come on, you're a camera shy normally. So I'm going to turn the camera around just so you can see. Okay. This is the big bruiser. This is the big boy. Okay. Look at his head. So sweet, so cuddly. My gorgeous boy. Okay. Just, oh, no, you won't see him. There you go. There you go. Gorgeous, cuddly boy. He's purring away to say hello. Linda's saying hello. There you go. Okay. Going to go back on the chair now. He doesn't very often make an appearance. That's why I've just shown him to you. There you go. Bring you back over. He's a lovely boy. He really is. He wants a treat, I think, probably as well. So there's one card, and that's done with a faux border. The other way you can do it, I'm going to do another piece now very quickly, and I'm going to do something very similar. I keep the same colours, but I'm going to show you how you can actually put that then over the border and just see the difference. So if I do that with another border, if I do, I'm going to do slightly smaller than the note card. This time I'm going to go down a quarter. So I'm going to do 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. I haven't got any throat lozenges at home, which is bad for me. I normally do. So there's my panel, okay, and that's 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So I want to come down to 3 1/8. Let me write on my label. So I'll do that down a quarter of an inch now, 3 1/8 by 4 3/4. So 3/4, I want 4 5/8. Okay, I am going to do a chart. I've said this before, I'm going to do a chart with all the sizes on so that you can all have that chart just so you can know what your sizes are. I need to get that done. So 5 1/8, no, 3 1/8 this way by 4 5/8. So it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So you're going to have a smaller border this time. So it's just coming down in increments, and there we go. It's just going to have a tiny little green border this time because the card's smaller. So this can be mounted straight on there. So instead of going bigger, we've gone smaller this time. Okay, in there. And this piece we're just going to stamp all over through that middle section. Doesn't matter this time where the border is, because we're going to put a piece of card in here and we're going to stamp that again. Okay, I'm going to leave it exactly where it was, and then stamp it, ink this up, and then make a card border. So it's up to you which way you like to do it. It's nice to have both. If you're worried about postage and thickness of your envelopes, then this is obviously a flat lay, what they call a flat lay card, because there are no layers, there's no ridges in there at all. Okay, and then it also means you can put your decoration on it. That hasn't got gems on at the moment. I'll put some gems on. Okay, one more. Go. So that's a nice jet black image. Love the Stamper Arts for doing that. It's just so much better. Just clean that all up. Get rid of that. I haven't used the DSP tonight. I'll use that another night. I am going to be running this as a class, so you're going to be able to see lots of different choices. So I did this, remember, on 3.5. So if we make this 3.5. So we're going either side of this, making sure we've got it straight. So I like to close this, the trapdoor. It will help, Linda, when I do a chart. I want to do a nice chart that you can laminate if you've got a laminator, or if not, when you're here, you can laminate it. I'm going to cut that level. I've put the grid here level with the letters so I can see that it's straight. Take that away. Turn that round so that this line is now straight on the 3.5 line. So 3.5 and 3.5 here. So keeping it straight all the while. Even though some of the lines on here are inches, you can keep them straight parallel with that. Okay, and then you can cut that one off. And then all you've got to do, you've got that whole piece then. And you can work out on your card whereabouts you want that to go, as to where you're going to put your greeting. On the note cards, it's really nice to have that in the middle because it's quite small. The one I put to the side here, what I would do with that one is then fussy cut some of those images. So I'm just going to put a little mark there and a little mark there. Okay, and that's where I'm going to cut it. So in this little dark groove here, right in the middle of that track on the cutting line. Okay, and then this side, to make sure that ends up on the 3.5 line. No, it's not 3.5 because we've taken it down to 3 1/8. So 3 1/8. Yep, I've checked it here and I've got my little dot in there as well. So that's right. There we go. So that's our layer ready to go over the top. So this time I'm going to do it. I'm just going to stamp this randomly over the tops and bottoms, but kind of knowing where that's going to go. So if I get my green out again, okay, if we put some little tram lines on here, it would help as well. So if you use your grid, you know we've got the grid paper that Stampin' Up! Give us. So it's according to where you'd like that to go. I'm going to use this exactly on those lines, I think. So that line there. Okay, and that line there. I'm going to shift it up just a fraction and put little lines there and there. That just gives me an idea, excuse me, to keep my stamps in between. So that is going to be where my sentiment is going to go over the top. Okay, so we can just do some of these leaves again. We have got a smaller area, so we haven't got as much to fill, so just keep within that. And I'm going to change it around because I've got some more on the bottom here. I've got them all on one block here now. Yeah, I will do the chart, Linda. That will help everybody. I've been wanting to do it for a long while, but just talking through it has just reminded me. Okay, that's the top line nearly covered, and then the bottom line is going to be here where the pencil marks are. So I want to use this filigree one again, just hanging off the bottom. Okay, and a few more of these ones. You can see with the mask, it's easier, I think, to keep it within where you're going to go, because you'll forget where those little pencil marks are. It's entirely, I just wanted to show you the two different ways that I do them. And then this one, actually we could go with this one. We've got the 3 different leaves out here. Let's go with this one. And another one coming down the bottom. I want to vary the angle a little bit. There we go, take them off. I will pick these all up before I go leave them in tonight. So now I go back to these, I have the flowers. So I've got Flirty Flamingo on that one. See, the lines are, the little pieces are in there. I can just see them. So that's going to come at the top there. Okay, and then we'll put one on the bottom as well. So work out, remember where your lines are, so it's coming across there. So I want that one kind of nested in the middle, just overhanging half and half. As I said, you can cover your lines up, it doesn't matter. Gorgeous grape. Excuse my voice. Wednesdays is 9, Zana. Sundays is 8. I was doing them on different areas, but now I went to multi-streaming, and I did consider putting them both at the same time. But people have got kind of in the routine. I've got the Facebook ones and I've got the YouTube ones. So kind of used to where I am. So I thought I'd just leave them where they are, but at both times it'll be multi-streamed. So that's those two. Then on here, I've got the other flower. Slightly different, but very similar. I'll just put a little bit of that coming off the end. And turn these over in the corners. I have the yellow for the centres of the flowers. There's Daffodil Delight, just for that little bubble in the middle. A little bit there. Just on the edge of that one. There's 3 little bits of yellow, just makes a little pop. And lose him. Well, not lose him. Put him down somewhere else. And then over here, I've got the little tiny flower. So I need another hole filled in there. Let's put another Flirty. And going that way. And we could have another, oh no, I'll use this little one. We have the little one there, just for some little detail coming in. I've stamped over where the edges are now, where the lines were. We'll find them again later, just to pop that in somewhere, just a little bit in there. Okay, and then this one up here. I think I had this one coming down and meant him to go upwards actually. That wasn't so good, was it? This was the one I was looking for, that little one. Let's just do that other leaf first. I think I prefer the other way already. I've done both, but I do think it's easier once the sentiment is masked off. You can see kind of where you're going. Which do you like better? Which do you think you would have a go at? Just clean that one and put the other colour on. Would you give this one a go? Who's still watching? So the beauty of this way is that you can grab your tweezers, or you could. I think I've left them over there. I've been working on some swaps today. This is the greeting that we were going to have on here. Okay, so we could actually lay that on there now and see what it's going to look like. So are we happy with that? So I think I like that one. I want a little bit more pink down here, I think. The little tiny flower we can do in the Flirty Flamingo. You can come that way. There we go, just to give a little bit more in there. So I'm going to move those ones out of the way, shut those ones I can, and then mount that on a card. So you've got a piece in there like so. Just see the different versions. One's of the full size and one's one way and one the other. Now there are some new products. I meant to have the sheet here. Some new products coming out for the 1st of March. And I have got some of them here. If you would like to see them, I can quickly... I've overrun tonight a little bit from what I normally do. But we're good up to an hour. So there is my other card. So we've got a flat lay for the full-size card. Okay, so it's all one layer. Okay, and then this one is slightly different. It's a note card size. So I've taken it down slightly, down by 1/4 of an inch and then 1/8 of an inch. But then this one, if you want to, I want to show you another option. Dear. There is colds in the house, unfortunately. 3.5 wide we are, the card. And this was 3.5 centimetres. So I want this to just be about 4 centimetres, just that little, in fact, yeah, 1/2 centimetre. I'll just do a few millimetres, I think. Okay, and take a slither off. Yes, Anna started off with a cold. Their mum was full of cold. I don't think we're full of cold, but we're yeah, I'm just getting a bit of the throat now. So this one here, the middle layer, was 3.5. That was 3.25. So I'm going to take this one down to 3.25. I don't want it sticking over the edges of the card. I do sometimes. I'll show you what I mean. So if this one and that one were matted together, they will be the same width going across as the green layer underneath. Okay, so the green is on the green, and then this one will be in the middle of it. Okay. Now I have sometimes, I'm going to stick this on here like so. Now sometimes I do take it to the whole of the outside. So where you've got your border coming down, I take it both sides to stick over the whole of the card. So that would be more like so. So you've kind of got a little bit of a mini cross, but it hangs over the ends. So it's entirely up to you what you like to do. There are possibilities there. The other possibilities are, we'll put some gems on, but are to stamp a few of the flowers or leave, and the leaves are a bit more detailed, and 3D them, fussy cut them and 3D them. Okay, so I'll pop that in the middle. With the Tombow, we've got a bit of wiggle room. Just slide that up just very, very slightly. Okay, and then that can go in the middle. Because I moved the layer, when I put pencil marks on, I moved it up slightly. One pencil mark can still be seen there. So that is the top of it. So I'm going to go just over that. Okay, and then this one will come down. Okay, just so you can't see the pencil really. Okay, and there we go. That one's just got the slight border on it. It's been mounted, double mounted, and that is a flat lay. Okay, so I hope you can see kind of like differences on those ones. And then we'll just put some gems on there. I've got gems here. Because we're using multiple colours, I would kind of like to put one of those flowers on here, I think. You know me and my fussy cut. I do like to fussy cut. And maybe a solid green. So you can see the possibilities. I've got a couple of scraps here, so I'm just going to use those. Okay, there will be lots of patterns, lots of designs coming out with this because, like I say, there's so many possibilities as to how you can do them. Let's grab some scissors, and if I grab my glasses, which I did shoot through somewhere, I did. I've had my glasses there under my nose. Just quickly fussy cut around that. The big card here, you'll see, has got a bigger space to the side of it. Now I would rather see that with a flower on it. So I'm just going to fussy cut this. I'm doing it very quickly because of time. Okay. I mean, I'm good for time. It's just keeping you on a Sunday night. In fact, I think I'm going to cut this one close to. Sadly, there's no punch for this one. But there is another set with a triple punch in it, and that would work probably quite nicely with that one actually. If you've got other punches, other floral punches. It's actually the one I think I was using the other week. It's a Park, Sentimental Park and Regency Park. Okay, so I'm just going around the middle of that. And then I'll put a gem in the middle of this one. I won't stamp into the centre. Just come around, hopefully you can see that going. There we go, and we come around here. Trying to keep half an eye on the comments. Know the feeling. Oh. No, my nose has been good so far, touch wood. Touch wood, there's wood there. Yeah, it's just she came home with a big head cold and then Mum's got it, so now it's kind of rubbing off on me and David, I think, just because of germs are in the house. Right, so there's a little flower, and you know how I shape my flower? Just put my knuckle in the middle there, and that can just shape that to 3D. And this one, cut off the excess of your card, and then just come back in. It's hard to get the tiny stem there cutting either side, so I'm just going to cut this one round. It is a white background, so I'm just going to come in to shape the edges. When it's wafer thin stem like this, you will not be able to get all of it. Because it's going on a white back, there's nothing to worry about. Okay, and the end will be tucked underneath the petal. Just to give it a bit of dimension really, because we've got the flat lay, but it just fills that hole. Okay, there we go, and those will come underneath there like so, and I can bring that into the greeting and then stick a little gem on there, or we could come away from the greeting like so. That might look nice. So I have got my tweezers are over the other side, so I do feel like big fingers tonight. So if I just put a little bit of Tombow on the back of that leaf, coming away from that greeting, okay, and then this one, just rough that up in the middle, put a dot there, okay, and then what we're going to do is put a nice big gem in the middle. I use an old Tombow just to hold that in the middle so I don't flatten the whole thing, just until it adheres. Okay, and then we'll put a nice big fat gem on it. In fact, I have in here, these ones would be perfect this time because these are pastel pearls, and because of the colourway on here, one of these would work perfectly. A nice dark one in the middle. See how that fits in there? Like so. Look at that. And then this one, we could even use the gems on here. They are actually all very large ones. I think they're a bit overbearing for that one. The middle of the flower was good. And this one, no, I haven't got any of those left. We'll just go to the clear ones here. So these are the rhinestones. Love my rhinestones. I can't believe the last order, I forgot to put some on the order. Luckily I have a demo around the corner and she's just ordered some for me on her order. So I just want to fill this little gap. So I'm going to put a 3. Got one big one and then I'm going to put 2 smaller ones either side. Okay, so one that side. They're sparkling really lovely in these lights. Now one that side. So there we go. So there we go. 2 cards tonight. I hope you can still see this message coming up there. That's okay. There we go. So 2 cards. One with a flat lay and one with the panel in the middle and raised, just slightly raised. You could put that on foam pads if you wanted. But 2 different versions there. I really like that technique. I love this stamp set. That is the first outing. I'm going to bring you across to me. There we go. It's the first outing of that stamp set. It only arrived a couple of days ago. So, good job on saying as I'm snoring. You're snoring well. Yeah, I expect you are. Yeah, when you've got a congested chest, yeah. Okie doke. Yeah, so that's 2 cards tonight. I will share details of that. It will be a class coming up probably in March, and it will be if you book by the end of February and you want to do that as the bundle with the coloured ink spots, then there'll be a celebration in there as well. Okay, but I'll be putting those details out to you after the weekend. Okay, so good to see you all tonight. Don't forget, celebration is still running. Okay, I'll give you a very quick sneak peek at the new bundle that's coming. This is a very, very quick sneak peek. This is a new stamp set that is coming. Let me just get this across to you. So this is a new stamp set that's coming, Irresistible Blooms. I'm away next weekend, from Thursday to Sunday, and I will be crafting the whole of the 4 days, or three and a bit days. I love these stamps. I love these images here, and I love the dottage. These are lovely, lovely font. And then inside you've got the dies as well. So the dies that go with those have got some different textures on them. Look at those. You've got this is like a wreath, but it's got the dot and the swirls, and this has got the same. You can go landscape, portrait, whatever, and the dies obviously cut out the images. So can't wait to get that mounted and get playing with that one. It's a rubber mount. I really can't wait to do that, and I'm going to take that away to play with at the weekend as well. So you will see lots of those coming through. Okay, so take care, stay safe. I'm going to get some lozenges tomorrow, help my throat, and I will see you all again on Wednesday night.